Double file restart. 24 cars are scored on the lead lap, including Michael Waltrip's, who was at the tail end of the field. Jimmy Johnson chose the outside line, leader's choice, on the restart. Double file restart, shootout style, all the lead lap cars up front. No passing till you cross start finish, and then they fan out.
That's like you showed earlier, Wally. They're 4 and 5 wide back. Yeah, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Look at them right
there. And that's fun. I mean, it's fun to do when you're driving at this racetrack and you've got good rubber on, and you can do that. I mean, it is a blast.
And it's fun to do because it's 4 or 5 wide, and they're all for positions. It's not like it used to be when it was 4 or 5 wide, and you're like, what are those lap cars doing down there 3 wide under me? I don't want them under me.
Oh, I thought you were going down a bad road.
I did not go down a bad road.
Mr. McReynolds?
Here, I think this is the betting window that Michael Waltrip and Boone Mark are standing in. I think their hopes and their betting on the fact this double file restart shootout style is going to breed another caution, because remember, they have to come to pit road here shortly because they have not pitted since lap 38. They're very close on fuel with that 55 car.
And I think Larry is with me on we need to come up with a shorter name for this thing.
See those people on the other side of the glass right here, Wally? You want to go talk to them about that?
Shootout style, okay, guys? Great. That's what it is from now on.
Perfect name. Perfect name.
We also showed you that David Reagan lost a few spots on pit road, and now he's lost a few on the track. Took 4 tires and fuel. Kind of got pinched in some traffic getting off of pit road, and that could be where he lost those spots. Reagan runs in the 11th spot.
We're watching a 2-car Kurt Busch here. We had the opportunity early in the week to sit down with Kurt and talk to him. And Kurt made a couple of interesting comments that he hates a tight race car. Right. Hates a tight race car. And I mean, he was adamant about it. And then we heard Ralph, who did a great job on the pit whip, say, Kurt says his car's getting tight, continuing to get tighter, and the racetrack's going to get tight, and they got to do something about it. So it's going to be interesting to see if they made a major adjustment under this. Because just as Wally said earlier, you got to count on the racetrack continuing to change.
And just about 3 or 4 cars behind that, you'll see the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's picked up 5 positions from the restart.
That was almost
Reagan 6 car. Yeah, that was big. He was pointed at the infield there for a second.
Almost what Michael Waltrip needed.
Yeah. And I don't know if he got help on that. I caught it just as he shot out of line there. But normally on a deal like that, you've got somebody on your bumper.
See if it'll come to me.
Let's take a look.
It's going to be behind this.
No, he just got loose.
Oh.
Way loose.
Wow. That's a tank slapper.
Man, that is good save.
Kenseth in the 17 on board with Tony Stewart.
I got to give Kenseth's son Ross a shout out. He ran at IRP last night and finished 5th down there in the division he runs, which is pretty cool. Matt flew down and spent the night waiting. So shout out to Ross on that one.
Stewart picks up the position from Matt. Kenseth runs in the 7th spot. Michael Waltrip last pitted on lap 38. We're working lap 82. On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Looking back at Kyle Busch. Here comes Carl Edwards.
And Kyle, both of them. Kyle working that high line. Boy, look at the run you get off there.
It's like you just run downhill. You know, it almost looks like it. It's so dramatic. He goes from the outside to the inside in the middle of the straightaway. You know, you just get that power run. And here he is on the bottom.
Yeah, this is where you got to be able to get off the corner and slide in front of the guy.
Mark Martin has joined this as well in the 5 car. Kyle Busch is 8th. Earnhardt Jr. is 9th. Then we check in with Ralph Shaheen.
Well, that 88 car, Bill, remember I told you at the beginning of the race, they built a lot of adjustment into the car because Crew Chief Lance McGrew was just not happy with where they were on bit closer, and as you can see, they're moving up the charts once again. Now they're sitting there running in 9th. Best they've been all day so far.
You've got, looks like a skirt or something there hanging off the right side right behind the door. Those skirts right there along the bottom of those cars are very important on how these cars handle. And it looks like right behind possibly where they put the jack, Kyle, that thing is flying out there.
Yeah, and that could come from a couple of things. The jack going up under the car, and as you drop the car and pull the jack out, you see the skirt. Or where this is at, this is all the way, that's right there at the tailpipe. That's where the tailpipe comes out. So it's almost like the tailpipe has burnt, the pop rivets or burnt something through and it's begun to come out a little bit.
This is a replay from a lap ago.
But and I think they're still really important. Those skirts, I mean, they actually help suck the car down to the racetrack. It almost creates a vacuum, and when you lose part of that skirt, you lose part of that vacuum. You lose part of that downforce. These are critical to the aero of the car, and probably more so to this car than the old car that we used to run. A lot of times at Daytona and Talladega, you would change your skirts, move things around for drag and for different issues like that. So this is an important part of it. We keep talking about... That's Junior talking about getting his rhythm back. We keep talking about side bite and forward bite. When you lose that downforce and you lose some of that, then it changes the side force and it changes side bite and it changes the forward bite and the forward grip. And when he's changing his aero package right here in the middle of the run because something's blowing off the car, it totally changes. And he doesn't know it. Yeah. Right now, he's probably lost a handle on his car. That's what he said, I need to get my rhythm back. Well, what he doesn't probably know sitting in that car right now is he just lost some of the downforce on that car. It ain't going to come back right away. That's when you start screaming at the crew chief, what did y'all change on this car? What did you change? And they didn't change anything. It's just the nature of what's happening right now.
NASCAR has asked the 88 team to clean that up on the side of that car on their next pit stop.
And Junior just told NASCAR 10-4, we'll clean that up.
Dave Blaney, Sterling Marlin, Joe Nemechek, Tony Raines officially out of the race. 4 cars out of the race.
4, man. Looking real good here. Just keep digging there. You're better than that 33. He's got a big hole behind him for the 24. Nice and smooth.
Junior's onboard radio. In front of him, Mark Martin in that 5 car. Martin has moved up 21 positions since the start of the race. How about it, Matt?
Bill, a huge gain from starting back in 32nd. The first run, Mark didn't make any change. The second run, he felt like he'd used up that right rear tire. And you know, Wally and KP, I know a number of times over the years, you guys have complained to your crew chief. I'm telling you, I hear a noise in the race car. Well, that's what Mark Martin told Alan Gustafson.
The steering gets hard. It gets hard, and I can hear it squeaking. There's a problem with this car. This Charlotte car, isn't it? Yeah, 10-4 Charlotte car.
Mark saying when he turns the wheel, it makes a squeaky noise. Right now, though, they made a chassis adjustment on the last stop. Still a tick on the free side as he heads back down to the bottom.
And you know, a lot of times a driver will ask a question like that, where did we run this car last? Because in his mind, he can't figure out what's going on in the car. And if it's a new car, then it's a totally new set of circumstances to you. But if you've run it before and you're familiar with it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this car did this at Charlotte, and I forgot to tell you. Or I remember this car had that problem before. So a lot of times that's why a driver will go back and say, where did we run this?
I can tell you Michael Waltrip's hopes ran out. He had to pit on lap 84. He's currently scored 32nd, 1 lap down. Jimmy Johnson is the leader by 2 seconds at Michigan.